The last one.
We'll call this video Peeling Eggs and Tootin'. Is this an egg? Time, fellas, you know why. Everybody, we're boiling. That is, we are processing eggs today. It is very snowy, crappy, sleety, windy, icky outside. So we have so many eggs. We now have 24 laying hens, and the new ones that we put in are starting to lay. And we've got so many. So we're gonna do, I think, 3 different preparations today, and I'm gonna let Mary take it from here because she the boss.
So today we're going to hard boil pretty much all the eggs. Nick already has some goose eggs hard boiled, so we're going to be working on that first. But in the meantime, we have more goose eggs boiling here, and then probably about 50 chicken eggs boiling on our stove outside. And we're going to be making deviled goose eggs. We're going to do goose egg salad. And then we're going to be pickling a couple of goose eggs, but the majority of the chicken eggs, we're going to pickle those. So we have a lot of new recipes today, and we're very excited to get going on them with you.
Yes, we thought, a lot of people probably are new to chicken raising, as we are as well. And hopefully there's an abundance of eggs around that need to be taken care of. And in terms of eating them, one can only eat so many fried and scrambled eggs.
Yep.
So
this is what we're choosing to do with our eggs.
If you have any comments or suggestions, or when we're doing things wrong or right, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, or new recipe ideas as well.
Definitely. And if you like, or even if you don't like this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification too.
All right, let's make some deviled goose eggs. So these have been hard boiled. And they have a little bit of a yellow color. I think that's just because we didn't do anything with them right away. They smell fine, so I'm not too worried about it. For this recipe, we're gonna do 5 goose eggs. We'll need some mayo, mustard, salt, pepper, in these fancy dispensers, and some apple cider vinegar. And then to top it off, some paprika to garnish the top. Now, the trickiest part about this recipe is cutting the eggs nicely. You don't want to cut all the way through. I found that if you kind of roll them, come all the way around to the other side, you can peel them apart nicely and sometimes get the whole egg yolk into one side. Now these egg yolks were kind of pressed against one of the sides, so we have a weak area here, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. Pull the yolks out, I might need a spoon, and put them in the bowl to the side. So I'll work on that quick. Okay, so as you could see, all I really did was roll the knife around the yolk and tried not to cut into the yolk so that we could get them to come out in one whole piece. Makes this whole recipe a lot easier. All right, now I'm going to chop the yolks and then put them in the bowl and mix it all up. All right, inside we're gonna put mayo. Probably for this about we'll probably put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayo. You know, right back there?
Yep.
Okay.
You know that sound of ice trays cracking and being put in glasses? It's like a sounding call for pankas. It means it's cocktail time.
Jeez. The key with this recipe is you don't want to have too much. You don't want it to be too liquidy. So okay, we're also going to add a couple splashes of apple cider vinegar. A little bit of salt. And some pepper. Ooh. I know, fancy. And I think we just need a little bit more mayo. Now we'll top them off with a little dash of paprika.
Deviled eggs, my favorite, as Steve Harvey would say.
All right, let's taste test them and see if we want to tweak the recipe for next time.
Let's eat.
Cheers.
I love deviled eggs. Right, Mom?
I think it needs a little bit more salt.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'll use this one.
Yeah. That one.
Sea salt. Nice.
Perfect.
All right. Goose egg salad time. These were the goose eggs that we just boiled. Typically for goose eggs, they take longer to cook. So we do 15 to 18 minutes of boiling, and we can get in, we'll have a recipe of how we do our hard-boiled eggs. It's still a work in progress. Not all of them come out perfect, but we'll be probably trying a couple of different recipes on how to actually hard-boil eggs in coming videos, because there's a couple different ways to do it, and I want to try some different methods. But for these, we love the goose eggs to make egg salad because you only have to peel a couple of eggs and you get a lot of egg salad. So it's a really quick way to make a ton of egg salad that lasts us about a week, and you don't have to do much work to get them. So let's get these peeled. this recipe, we are going to use 6 goose eggs and salt and pepper, some garlic powder, dill, because I love dill. Here's some sea salt. I like to put sometimes like relish or sauerkraut that I made earlier last year. Some crunchies for celery. Celeries are always nice and crunchy. And mustard. And mayo if I did say mayo. I can't remember if I said mayo or not. Alright, let's get this all chopped up and in the bowl, and then we'll add our seasoning. On a cutting board rather than kind of knife cut them in a bowl, because the actual white part of the egg can get a little bit rubbery. So to get a better chop and really get them cut into smaller pieces, I've found that it's a lot easier to do it on a cutting board than inside a large bowl. Chicken eggs, you can kind of cut them with a butter knife or a fork in the bowl, but it hasn't worked very well for goose eggs. They just have a little bit of a more dense white. Alright, there's our chopped portion. Nice and fluffy. Got some greens in there. Alright, so I'm a really big fan of eyeballing how much I put in for recipes like this. So I'm just going to make it. You guys can watch it, and then I'll put approximations in the description. And some pepper. We like to use cilantro like lettuce a lot of times. So for this, we're just going to cut some cilantro. Go to mount on top of there. It is a green. Mm-hmm. And then need a left fork. Put some more sauerkraut on there because I love sauerkraut. And then some brie. We are big fans of brie cheese.
Funky.
Here.
Yep, I'll like that.
And I think I made the sandwich upside down, but that's okay.
It happens. How many goose eggs was this?
There you go. 6 goose eggs.
6.
Probably about
There's a
15.
bunch left in there.
It's probably about 15 chicken eggs worth.
We like our geese.
Yes.
Gigi and Goosey.
There you go.
Thanks, honey. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah. I was hungry. You got enough salt this time?
I think so.
You did. What, they have it again? You put Kraut on it?
Yep. In it and on it.
Like I said, I was in the north wing, so I couldn't go away.
Who knows what was happening?
Good mention. Okay. Well,
So the next thing we're gonna do,
that one's done. What's next?
yeah, we're gonna peel a lot of chicken eggs and then pickle them. So we're gonna do one pickle flavor, mostly dill. Like I said, I love dill. Dill, garlic, and onions. And then we're gonna do it in a 1 gallon jar because we have a very small fridge, and the 1 gallon jar will keep it all contained. The recipe we're doing is not a shelf stable recipe. It's a refrigerator recipe.
That looks real good. It's really good on ciabatta too. A certain amount of eggs. We're gonna count them. But we don't know how many. It's a bunch.
We'll count them as we go.
Yep. For those of you with little ones at home, feel free to count along.
1.
We're gonna try this method too. I've heard of this. I'm gonna put probably half a dozen in here. Put a lid on it. We're gonna shake it.
When I did it, if I shook it too hard, they broke.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right. I'm gonna like it. A little bit of water in there might help. 50. For a 250 bill. It's a long story.
Okay. 1.
Oh yeah. Are you not? Are you secretly not racing with me?
17. I'm not racing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm secretly racing with you.
It's not a race if you're the only one in it.
Or are you always winning?
What number are we on?
I don't know. You said the last one. What number did you just say?
What number did you just say?
16.
Okay, then I said 7. That one.
Oops, I broke it. Oops.
Scared me.
I know. It's like,
What was that one that we were talking about? It was like something fantastic. Or excellent. The weather outside is excellent.
is that the punchline or is that the...
I don't know. That was the whole thing. It's just more of a pun.
Food in there. Just hurt one poop. Not could, you know.
Yeah.
Caveman had a rough time. Think about all the all the hard lessons that the caveman had to learn. Yeah.
All the raw meat.
It's a real pioneer. You know what they call people who raise chickens, honey?
What?
Yolk folk.
Alright, next step in making pickled hard-boiled eggs is to heat up the brine and combine everything. So we're gonna do our pickling in this 1 gallon jar, and the recipe I'm following is to pickle in a quart-sized jar. So we're gonna quadruple the recipe and hope that we have enough. For the recipe, we're gonna do 4 cups of distilled white vinegar. You can kind of play around with the types of vinegar that you use, but when in doubt, you always want to have more vinegar than water. So the ratio we're going for is a 50-50. But if you ever have to add more, you always want to add more vinegar rather than more water. All right, we'll get some water. And then in addition to that, we'll be doing 8 tablespoons of pickling salt and 8 tablespoons of cane sugar. So regular sugar. And we like to use reverse osmosis water rather than our well water. Alright, 4 cups of water. Turn this on. And then just to top it off, I'm going to add a little bit more vinegar because I want to make sure that we have enough liquid. I'd rather have a little bit more liquid than not have enough to cover all of the eggs. So we'll wait for this to boil and for the salt and sugar to dissolve. And in the meantime, we can start filling this jar with deviled eggs, hard-boiled eggs. So we'll count them out again. I'm gonna choose ones that don't have the yolk exposed because I think it will make it the whole thing kind of cloudy. 2, 3, 4, 6. This is gonna take a while. All right, 50 total.
50. Nice. Egg porn.
Oh my gosh. All right, in addition to the eggs, we're gonna put in the spices, so any pickling spices. This is where you can get creative. I like to take the traditional kind of pickling spices and then add a little flair to it. So today we're going to do some garlic powder, some red peppers, coriander seed, peppercorn seeds, dill, and a little bit of habanero, and then I'm also going to chop up some garlic and put garlic in there. So let's get going on that.
You the boss, honey.
Yeah,
All right.
So
I know.
It's so irritating.
All right. This is all the garlic we have right now, so we're just going to use it. And I'm just going to roughly chop it and leave the skins on it and all, just because I feel like doing that. And some of it's kind of old. I just want to get it in there for some flavor. Alright, we're gonna do about a teaspoon of each of these. The recipe I have calls for 1 to 3 teaspoons per quart, and that one doesn't have anything.
Right, I see that now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There'll be about 6 teaspoons. This one we're gonna have because Nick doesn't like hot things. And that doesn't fit. Great. You can also pre-mix pickling spices, which a lot of people do. And I also have just some spices that I use throughout the year. It makes it really easy and convenient if you're gonna just do a pickle like this really quickly. That's about a teaspoon. And then let's go a little under for this one. And we're gonna add a little extra dill because I like dill. It's one of those teaspoons.
Do
Pour this on top. And then when our brine is done, we'll pour that on top of that and it'll just kind of all mix in together.
Kind of looks like dirt water with coffee grounds in it that we put some eggs in. But it doesn't look very good, actually.
It'll turn kind of gray. This recipe gets a little
I'm
gray.
looking forward to it. So how long till we can eat these, honey?
Alright, so once you add the brine, you can eat them right away if you want to, but they say within 24 to 48 hours the taste will start to penetrate and get into the egg. But typically 2 to 4 weeks is the ideal eating time. So between 2 to 4 weeks, start eating them and they'll taste delicious. And then before you put this in the fridge, you want to let it cool back down to room temperature. And as far as pouring boiling water into a jar, it's very important that you know that the jar can handle boiling water. In this case, I know these jars can. So, yeah, otherwise you'll have lots of shatter.
It's funny because when we first started dating, I used to joke that Mary cooks a lot, but all this stuff she cooked was like, oh, we can eat this in 2 weeks because she loves fermenting things. And here we are again. So, but they're so good. She makes stuff that's like good now too. But we'll let that chill. We'll probably toss it outside and then we'll throw it in the tiny fridge. And thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.